Archie, welcome. Good to see you. What was the inspiration for Expand Media? Why start the business in the first place? What were your thoughts around that?
Cool. No. Thank you for having us. So, yeah, I mean, we started sort of early 2025, and me and Will have always been quite big into golf. So we thought, well, how can we, do something in an industry that we love? Both never going to make it as pro golfers. Not quite good enough for that. So we thought, well, what skills do we have, and how could we apply that to the golf industry? So we surveyed tons of golf clubs around sort of social media, what their challenges are, what their pain points might be, and also around CRM systems as well, because we sort of had a thought, is CRM system something that a lot of golf clubs are using? Because coming from a tech background, obviously a lot of companies have and use CRM systems every single day. I thought in the golf industry it's probably not as widely adopted. So we surveyed loads of golf clubs, and then common things that came back from a CRM perspective, and the most common answer we got was intelligent golf, which obviously it's not actually a CRM system, and they admit that because it's not. So we thought, right, okay, well that's our first potential USP. And then secondly, from a content perspective, we noticed a common theme that was coming back were general managers not having enough time to focus on social media, not really having the expertise, not really knowing sort of what to post. And again, another answer that we got back quite a lot was, we don't need to do social media because we've got a waiting list, or we'll do social media when we need to. We then obviously researched a ton of golf clubs as well. And one of the things that we noticed a lot of clubs weren't utilising was the short form videos, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. So that's something that we wanted to try and push within the golf industry, really. So yeah, I mean, we spotted two gaps in terms of short form video content and CRM system as well. So then that was when.
So that's interesting, because I was going to ask you this a little bit later, but you've kind of touched on it there, is that now that you're working with a number of golf clubs, are you finding that there's a common thread that's running through it when you engage with clubs, that they're saying that they've maybe got the same challenges, or they don't understand certain areas of it, so they don't know what they don't know, kind of thing? Is that what you seem to find?
Yeah, I think the big one is time for general managers. Is a lot of people saying, like, we haven't got the time, we get caught up with other jobs, or sometimes we get some time to do a few posts on a Monday and then they forget about it for 2 weeks because people go away, etc. So on and so forth. I think the other big one as well is a lot of people that run golf clubs, they might not be on social media themselves. So I've had that conversation a lot. So don't actually, when I talk about Instagram Reels, they're like, I don't know what that is. What is Instagram Reels? Yeah. So there's also that challenge as well, where there's a lot of an education piece that we have to find. But and then also knowing sort of, like I said, what to post, so what sort of like cuts through the noise. A common thing that we see a lot with golf clubs is they'll utilise social media for sort of a bit like a notice board. So obviously putting around what events they've got going on, or maybe someone's got a hole in one, which is obviously it's great community content, but it doesn't always necessarily tell a story about your golf club as well. So yeah, that's sort of the common things that we'd see. So I'd sort of say, yeah.
And we've spoken, haven't we, previously about the kind of the people side of the content as well, and how important that is and is going to be going forward. And I suppose within the club industry, whether it be a golf club, a private members club, a yacht club, a tennis club, it is about people, it's about members, and it's about storytelling, I suppose. Yeah,
something that we wanted to do, so when we came together, so we've always sort of like, well, just saying not growing up, for the past sort of few years, we've watched a lot of golf influencers. Like I've got a lot of my tips from like Dan Greaves, Rick Shields, Four Brothers, people like that, all common names. I'm sure if you're in the golf industry, you'll know who those people are. So what would happen is you then get a lot of smaller creators coming through because they're like, that looks great, I can be a full-time golf influencer, so I'm going to start posting content like, come play this hole with me, or 7-iron challenge and spin the wheel challenges, where you spin a wheel, it gives them a random club. You see a load of influencers doing content like that. But we didn't know, what we noticed is a lot of golf clubs aren't doing content like that. It's still very much, like I said before, quite notice boardy, a lot of announcements, a lot of just graphics as well, and not doing much on the short form video piece. So we thought, well, if we're into golf and our algorithm's just, pumping out How to Get Out of a Bunker by Dan Greaves, or, the free releases, or a Rick Shields playing Peter Finch in a match, or Jimmy Bullard and people like that, right? And it's all this fun content, like I said, with people mic'd up, talking to a camera, bantering with each other, someone's duffed out of a bunker, winding his mates up. Yeah. So we're like, well, what, for a golf club that also wants to get in the algorithm of golfers, why don't we start doing content like that? So that was sort of essentially which became our USP, where we now, if we've onboarded with a golf club and working with a golf club, we get them to nominate some members who, we think would be good on camera, which would, show the show the club in quite good light, and we'll get them playing like a one-hole match of just a 7-iron. And you know, the type of people that we get on video, they're bantering with each other. You know, they're not taking themselves too seriously, and then you know, that organic content then would go on the For You page of, you know, golfers within that area. And then what it also does is a lot of golf clubs can sometimes be known for quite closed shops. You know, some golf clubs have a lot of historic reputation of being, you know, quite snobby. You know, is it a bit cliquey?
Yeah, what's behind the gates?
Nobody
knows.
So by showing personalities on social media, it shows a different side to the club, because you can show the course all you want. Like people know, like we're at Thrillford Heath today, people know Thrillford Heath's a great course, right? But if they're going to look to join as a member, you want to know what the membership's like and what sort of people are there. So
how friendly the staff are, and all that kind of stuff, isn't it?
So by showcasing the pro, the members, the captain, the lady captain, getting them talking on camera, you know, micing them up as they're playing a match against each other or something like that. We were showcasing their personalities, and that's what we use to sell the golf club, is people's personalities, you know, as members' personalities, as the staff's personalities, because at the end of the day, you know, you can have an amazing course all you want, but if people are joining and they're not feeling welcomed and they're not making friends and, you know, they've got no one to play with, then they're not going to stay there very long. So by doing a video, Dyke's a great example. When they had a bit of an historic reputation of being, the snobs on the hill is what they were called. So we've done them lots of videos where, you know, we showcase loads of members, we've done a spin the wheel challenge, we do sort of guess the members swing, like all sort of, you know, friendly content, community content as we call it. And what we want that to happen is people to see that and go, oh, those people don't look snobby. They look like quite a laugh. He's just taking the mick out of his mate because he's duffed a 7-iron down the fairway and things like that. Or maybe I'd be friends with them. Maybe if I joined, that looks like someone I'd want to play with. So that's really what we try and create.
Yeah, I think you touched on their community. I think that's really interesting, because it is about showcasing that community side of it, and that there's a great golf course, or it's a great club. But it's about the people inside it, and it's about becoming part of the community. So that leads me on to the CMAE really, and the community that we have, and the, you know, almost 4,000 people that are engaged with us as an association. So what was the thought behind becoming a corporate partner with us? How have you found it since you've been on board, and where do you see it kind of going and developing for you as a business?
So the reason we came on boarded, you guys were, so we've got about 14 clubs now that we work with, and you guys were very widely recommended, let's say, by the general managers that we work with. They said, look, you know, if you guys want to continue to grow your business, then, you know, get involved with the CME, which is obviously, you know, why we reached out. Obviously you guys mainly focused around education. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of the initial conversations that we have with golf clubs, it's not really, you know, a cold hard pitch. It's me just sort of educating them on the algorithms, you know, what type of content that we do, why you want to be doing that type of content as well. So obviously there's a bit of an overlap there, let's say. And obviously, with your guys' support, you mentioned you got 4,000, like I said, 4,000 members of CMAE. It just helps us get into the door of some new club, obviously a lot more clubs.
So with that in mind, you know, our job is to try and keep the CMAE family up to date, give them the insight, give them the inside track almost, and also not only about what they need to know now, but what the future looks like. And where do you see the kind of trends going? I mean, you touched on LinkedIn with me earlier and talked about how that's evolved into something else now. Where do you see the content creation going? Where do you see the future of that?
Social media, it's interesting. I think where you're seeing it at the moment, obviously on Instagram and Facebook, you've got the reel section and you've got the normal sort of post section, let's say, the homepage. I think you're going to see more and more people gravitate to that reel section because it's a lot more addictive than what than what the homepage normally is. So I think in the golf industry particularly, you're going to see a lot of golf clubs, and hopefully we're playing a bit of a part in this, but I think you're going to see a lot of golf clubs move away from the graphics content and more towards the short form video content. Instagram's CEO said at the start of the year that this is the year for human-led content, and that's what they're going to be pushing. So like I said, it's people mic'd up, talking to a camera, showcasing personalities. So I do think you're going to see a bit of a desire for that. You're also now seeing as well, not a lot of people are following accounts as much as they once were as well. So, again, what that means is if you're just posting graphics and things like that, then you're very unlikely to reach a new audience. Whereas if you're posting a short form video content like a reel, that can go onto the For You page of anyone. So for golf clubs trying to target that new audience, again, it's going to be, you need to be doing the short form video content, the Instagram reels, Facebook reels, because that's how you're going to be reaching a new audience. So I do think you're going to see more of a need, and hopefully more golf clubs doing, more than what we do, like what we do with clubs as well, where, like I said, you're getting members playing a match against each other, you're introducing the pro, you're introducing the staff, because that's what does well at the end of the day, because there's so much, especially with AI now, there's so much AI rubbish out on social media, so you need stuff to cut through the noise, and the algorithm does reward that as well. Platforms like TikTok now, you can turn off AI generated content, and in Instagram you have to flag it as well. So, in a world where you're just seeing what was classed as AI slop, suddenly seeing your local golf club and you've got two members stood on the tee each other, very excited, very energetic, being like, right, today we're on the 7th hole at Thrill for Teeth and we're playing the match, and we're just using a pitching wedge, things like that. Cuts through that noise a little bit.
It's that tension, it's the tension thing, isn't it? And you see it all the time where, and I'm guilty of it. I might be on reels, and if it doesn't grab me in the first 3 seconds, I'm on to the next one, and on to the next one, and on to the next one. And that's a real challenge, isn't it? To, like you say, to grab that attention, to stand out from the crowd. But I think more importantly, from an education point of view, is educating managers or whoever it is that's responsible at a club for marketing and social media and all the rest of it, of what that actually looks like, what that content needs to be, and how it needs to hit, and where and when and all that. It's quite a challenge.
Yeah, and another point to think about, I keep seeing loads of articles on LinkedIn about this at the moment, but it's people saying, people now, they want more than just a great course for their golf club. Like I said, they want to go there, they want to make friends, they want to have the social environment. I mean, I'm very fortunate to be a member at Bearwood Lakes. The social atmosphere there is amazing. Sort of everyone knows everyone type feel, the balcony, everyone sort of, you finish a round and you all sit together, which is great. So, if your golf club's like that, then that's something that you'd want to be showcasing. Like, sure. Yes, you've got an amazing course, but that sort of, balcony atmosphere, and everyone's sort of sat together, everyone's sort of bantering with each other, people introducing themselves if they've not met before. I feel like that's what people want in a golf club, and that's one of the reasons why I left my previous golf club, which I won't mention more than won't mention who that was. And one of the reasons why I wanted to join Bearwood, because I did hear it was a bit like that, whereas quite easy to meet people, everyone sort of gets on with each other, everyone has a banter, has a laugh, it's not snobby, things like that. So
absolutely, I remember when but joining a club can be an intimidating thing. Especially if you're not joining with a friend, or you've already got a group of friends there, you might be new to the area, for instance. So going to a new club can be a really intimidating place. So actually, as a non-member, and I'm looking to go somewhere and looking to join a club, if I go online and see content that looks welcoming, the staff look welcoming, the captain looks like a decent guy, the lady captain looks like a decent person, then that's going to be a huge selling point. Like we said, beyond the gates, down that long drive, there's a golf club, but what's it like? And until you can find that out, it's going to be tough to make a choice. And obviously with a lot of golf clubs now, they've got big joining fees and things like that. Like, you do want to have a bit of insight before you join, because it can be quite nerve-wracking to pay your $5,000 joining fee, or whatever that may be, and you pay your 1 year subs, and you suddenly get there and you realise, these aren't really my sort of people. Because also they'll also say they're the best in the county, they've got the best greens in the county, they've got the best this, all clubs are going to claim that they've got the best of everything. But it's bringing that to reality, isn't it, and understanding. And I suppose clubs have got to understand what's important to that member individually as well. As a fairly new golfer, it might actually not be that important that the golf course is absolutely immaculate at the moment, because I'm not a great golfer, but what I want is the social side. But as I become a better golfer, it might be that I want a really good quality golf course as well as the social side. So it's getting that messaging out, isn't it?
So going back to the nervous point about being nervous joining a golf club, which like we all are sometimes. So by showcasing, this is the sort of what I'd say to clubs, but by showcasing as many personalities as possible within your within your membership and the staff, you do lower that barrier of entry a little bit. Because I might go onto a social media account of a club that I'm looking at joining, and I see loads of people, I see loads of people my age. I see them in the bar afterwards. We've done a video where they're mic'd up, which again, you could say, people show up to the camera or whatever and things like that, but you do get a good sense of what someone might be like if you see them in a video, and I could look at that and go, you know, that group there, they seem like people I might want to be mates with, and I'd quite like to get in with that group. So yeah, by showcasing, you know, people, it lowers that barrier of entry to people who said that might be a bit nervous about, you know, is this going to be the right club for me? Am I going to make friends? So that's where it just goes back to that point where, like I said, it's just showcasing more than just the golf course.
Cool. So changing subject slightly, CMAE conferences in October at St Andrews at the Old Course Hotel, which we've been talking about earlier on, and I think everyone I'm speaking to is really excited about it. But what are you looking forward to the most about those 3 days up there with the family? So
I'm looking forward to learning. Obviously, we see golf from obviously just our side, right? So obviously we're a bit tunnel visioned in terms of just social media. So it'd be interesting to hear what other partners are doing, hear what other challenges golf club managers have got, because obviously we understand social media is not their only not their only challenge as well. Obviously the networking piece is obviously there's going to be a lot of clubs there, so it's going to be great to obviously meet as many general managers as possible. Again, understand what their challenges are, what their plans are for the year as well. So hopefully get some good connections off the back of that as well. Obviously my first time meeting all the other CME partners as well, so I'm quite excited to chat to those guys as well.
No, sure. There'll be some great educational outcomes as well for everybody. What's quite interesting with our conferences is that the partners will be in the conference. So there'll be talks on team culture, talks on all these things that our partners can get involved in and learn as well, which I think is really exciting for you as a business that's going forward, to get exposed to some great keynote speakers as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And cool. Lovely location. So.
It's not bad, is it? No. It's not bad. So what's the future look like for Expand? What's the plan over the next 12 months? What are you looking to achieve?
So I think for us, one major goal that we've got is that education piece, just to try and get that messaging out there as much as possible around, you know, like I said, we call it influencer type content. So, you know, we really want to keep banging the drum about that moving forward into next year. Again, obviously, you know, hopefully expand, but pardon the pun, it's always funny every time we say that. But obviously, hopefully expand into new golf clubs. We work quite a lot with a lot of clubs down south. We've not got many clubs up north. So again, you know, we'd like to expand our reach, you know, in and around Manchester, Yorkshire, those sort of regions as well, maybe even in Scotland, which would be great. I mentioned this to you before, but we've also got a corporate day offering. So we filmed Dell Technologies Golf Day up at Glen Eagles. We filmed TD Synnex Golf Day at Fox Hills as well. So again, that's something that we want to do a lot more of as well, with a lot of golf clubs that host a lot of corporate days where, you know, we'll go down, we create a nice film of the day for the company that they can then go share on LinkedIn. You know, obviously it's great promotion for them, you know, if they want to do a golf day next year, or if, you know, a lot of them do golf days for charity as well. So again, it's good publicity, obviously for the brand, showcasing, you know, we've raised X amount. So I think that's a big area that we want to focus on next year as well. So the other thing that we've looked at is how golf clubs can use AI technologies. I think one of the cool things would be voice agents for the pro shop, or even, you know, if they've got a restaurant, being able to take bookings, answer, you know, frequently asked questions, things like that, just to free up staff's time, or even things like a chat bot on the website as well, because, you know, if people just want to go on there and they just want to know when the driving range closes, but, you know, they might not know where to go on the website or hunt through it, just to be able to quickly go, just click the little chat bot, put in, you know, what is it you want to know, how much for a lesson, how do I book a lesson, or, you know, what time's a range close, things like that. I think you're going to see more golf clubs
kind of mopping up those frequently asked questions, like you said. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we're delighted you're on board as a corporate partner. I think technology is one of those things that is just constantly evolving, improving, developing. So it's something that CMAE members absolutely need to keep abreast of and understand what the latest things are. And, you know, my job is to try and align our corporate partners with the 11 core competencies of club management, which is what we talk about on our education programs all the time. So you're a great addition to the partners portfolio that we have. Looking forward to working with you. Looking forward to welcoming you to conference and introducing you to a whole load of people. And I'm sure there's many people that listen to this that will be looking out for you at conference to have a chat with you. So thanks for your time. We'll speak again soon.
Cool. No, thanks very much.